welcome to yet another podcast in our podcast show, which is at Security Pulse. I'm Taha Sajid. I'm an author, a solution architect, a father of three kids, also founder of Security Pulse. So we're in this platform. We empower professionals. We empower organizations with emerging technologies and cybersecurity topics. And here we also bring our experts to discuss different pressing topics. I'm very pleased to have with me Mr. Kanesh today. He's our chief guest today, and he's coming from a very diverse background. He's the founder of Global 5G Evolution, a leading international voice and 5G advocacy. He has over 26 years of experience in telecom and 5G, and in 5 years, championing 5G. He's ranked 16th among the top 5G influencers. Kanesh Varan leads a global community also of 500 plus experts from 56 countries. He organizes virtual conferences and serves as an industry analyst and thought leader. He offers CMO services, excelling in strategic marketing and digital transformation. And his expertise spans 5G trends, research, monetization strategies for operators and enterprises. So, in this podcast show, we'll be discussing specifically the most pressing topic of these times, which is how the operators can leverage 5G, how they can monetize 5G so that they can have a better return on their investment and be able to plan better their strategies and also leading up to the virtualization space where everything is going cloud native. So, we want to discuss everything that how the operators and vendors can leverage the 5G services. Welcome, Kanesh, to my podcast show.
Thank you, Taha.
So to start off, Kanesh, I've been following you for some time now. It's been almost 4 to 5 years, and I remember we have spoken quite a few times. You invited me, in one of your conferences. I do remember that as well, and and you have been doing this amazing work for like number of years. You have been uh, ranked as one of the best top 5G influencers, which is really an honor for me to have you with me right now. So tell us something about yourself, which the people don't know about you. Apart from that, you have been doing this amazing work in the 5G space, but in general, like any fun fact about you, and also I would like to know how you have evolved yourself from coming from a corporate world than to doing something of your own.
Thank you, Taha. I think that was a very big decision that I made coming out from a corporate world and doing on my own because I think that was there was one time I think somewhere close to 2019 or towards to 2020. I really wanted to have a purpose in life, and a purpose in life is how I can help a larger community of engineers, students in the engineering field to build up themselves in the telecommunication industry because we want to make sure that the telecom shouldn't die in a very early age because when I did my degree in it was in the telecommunication and that's when the 2G started and all that. So I started doing rollouts in 2G implementations as well. So we know the huge wave was moving towards the data science, artificial intelligence. A lot of students have started enrolling themselves. A lot of universities, colleges are declining the telecommunications subjects from their courses because of the huge wave from the data science. So I thought, no, this shouldn't happen. It is still relevant. The industry are still focusing into the 5G towards to the 6G platform, and we want to make sure that there's more involvement from the younger generation, the university students to understand the significance, the criticality of the technology itself. So what I did was I started to share a lot of informations via the YouTube channel, and also presenting in the universities all around the world, discussing with a lot of students, sharing, and this made a lot of them to get involved. Young college leavers also wanted to get involved, and that's where I thought this is really inspiring, by doing this, and that's the reason I start up with this
Nice,
initiative.
nice, yes. It's very, very inspiring, Kanesh, and you have been doing some amazing work. Uh, so the question that been asked frequently, especially on the LinkedIn post as well, and when somebody talk about, hey, there are some 6G white papers which are there in the market. Some of the posts I came across is that, hey, we have not even reached to the 5G potential, and here you are thinking about bringing 6G. And there are some organizations who are doing well in the 4G space. They are running 4G VoLTE, all those services, and they think that, hey, we are good with 4G. What is the reason of now, launching 5G? So there are some part which is not clear to the MNOs, that what they can and how they can leverage this 5G technology. So in your experience, what do you think, what are the biggest challenges MNO face, first of all, in trying to have 5G, and whoever is now using 5G for some time now, like they are already like running the broadband services, they are having some use cases, if they want to scale their 5G enterprise services, how they can just overcome the challenges, as well as for the new operators who want to launch 5G services, what are the some of the key takeaways, what they can expect out of this?
That was a very good point, Taha, that you have taken, because there's quite a number of mobile network operators are still in the dilemma what they should do. I think this happens to all the mobile operators since the 2G days. Some of them from 2G never have actually invested in 3G, and they waited for the 4G. The same cases happens for the 4G players. There are quite a number are still are waiting, and they prefer to have a non-standalone because the cost is very low, and they find it is much more easy and wait and see, and they are looking other alternative options beyond the connectivity, like for example artificial intelligence initiatives, cyber security, edge computing, or so and so forth. They're trying to see how what are the other lower costs that they can push up for their revenue channel. But look at this, where today there are 58 mobile network operators from 30 countries have deployed 5G standalone. So it's very clear that from last year, 49, this year it's already moved to 58. I think the speed is catching up. A lot of mobile network operators have decided to deploy the standalone, because the standalone gives the real 5G value in terms of the speed, the download, the bit rates, high speed, low latency features, and that actually created high speed mobile internet like virtual reality, ultra high density video streaming, gaming, the network slicing, the live streaming as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we know that is very much on the EMBB consumer driven base particular offerings. And with that particular consumer driven, this also can leverage them to partner with those companies, content creator companies, content partnerships, and all that. So I think um, in that line we can able to see yeah, that there's more developments in terms of such kind of scenario.
No, no, no. I totally agree with you. There are uh, different challenges, but operators are still finding some ways to overcome them. Which is keeping the industry going, and the ecosystem is still evolving,
Yes.
which is good. So one of the uh, I have when I talk to experts, and when I have also seen while working with different MNOs and vendors, that there are one of the basic use case of 5G is still the broadband, the like the broadband connectivity, okay, the internet, what they give to their users. But the challenge what I see they face is they don't know how to effectively price and package,
Yeah.
if they are if they are putting down some investment to have the 5G network, and if they are just giving the broadband services, people will say that, hey, this is broadband, I'm still getting from 4G the same, like it will close to the same speed, but I'm not having enough use cases, and if I'm spending something on 5G, so how do they effectively price and package these services to get the maximum revenue? What do you think? Like, should they just focus on the traditional use case like the EMBB one, or they should explore some other use cases? And how would they balance the price? And as also you have to keep in mind there is good competition with, like, which is going on. So what do you think on this?
And I think yeah, the pricing levels we can look into different ways of uh, budgets or customer needs options. One is like a value based pricing where the price is based on the value that we are providing to the customer, and the usage based pricing, like charge customers based on the actual usage, encouraging the efficient consumption, right? So from on in that context we can see like bundle and packaging of 5G services, complementary offerings with the IoT solutions, cloud services, and also the cyber security services. This is getting a trending now with all these mobile network operators, that we can do a personalized bundle, create a tailored bundle base on usage patterns. Dynamic pricing is another very interesting because the top big boys vendors are working together, these large mobile network operators, on using the dynamic pricing for limited time promotions and also discounts. That's very much towards to personal pricing, as well. Value added services like premium features, offer premium features, add on additional costs, provide priority customer support, technical assistance. Also, like flexible contracts depending on the company partnerships, like enterprises, how we can do such kind of contracts that can offer a great service, or bundle with the device together, working together with the device suppliers, how to give a better pricing. So I think this is some of the options we
No,
can
no,
see.
you have made very good points. Bundling the value added services, that's the key takeaway. I'll give you one example. So, I used to use a tier one operator here for my mobile service. I'm just using the 5G network, and I was using the Wi-Fi also from that same operator. I don't want to name them, but people will know about it. But what they did is they were now bundling that if I'm using, let's say, a Wi-Fi service from them, and if use the 5G mobile services, then they will offer me some discounts on top of what I was giving for the Wi-Fi. And plus they tell me that, hey, if you want to use our 5G services, then we can also give you Netflix. You can have HBO services, or different streaming services. We can offer you that. We can give you YouTube subscription. So it's about, you have to understand first what your user wants, like what are their go-to options when they want to entertain themselves, or to just spend home with their family. And then they have to tailor made some packages so that the user will stick to it, because people are now very smart. They can easily switch to different operators based on the different price options, because
Absolutely.
coverage more or less is the same from every operator usually. It's not about something which is coverage related. It's more of the personalized experience that I can give to my user. This is what can make me loyal. Like, so this is something which is also I've seen it. So coming down to one of the strategies, what I have seen is, Kanesh, and keep me honest here, uh, is now operators, the like communication service providers, they are now partnering with different industry specialists and technology vendors to maybe do a profit sharing model. Because I remember my time in Saudi Arabia when I was with Huawei. Huawei does something very good is they will say that, hey, I'll deploy 5G for you, this 5G on me. Okay. When you start making money out of it, then we can discuss the profit like model. So this is how vendors do, but so uh, which is like in a way good thing, because at the end, uh, the people are getting benefit, out of all these partnerships. It's like the user is benefiting. But one point of time, the operators can also be siloed to that vendor. They can have some, like, they cannot get away from that vendor now. It's more of a monopoly that can happen. So what do you think? Like, if the CSPs have to partner with technology vendors to create profitable 5G enterprise solutions, while managing cost as well as their reputation, their services, what should they think about, and how do they go about those things?
Right. This is something that I made just for this particular program, for this event. In terms of the challenging market dynamics lead to different type of partnerships. As you see on the first quadrant on the top left, new revenue stream. I think a lot of these mobile network operators are looking how they can able to get new revenue stream rather than just depending on the large scale of consumers, how they can work together with different enterprises and to get revenues from enterprises as well. So, like for example, like Cisco with the Telus in Canada, they offered some sort of enhanced 5G connected experiences with infotainment applications. I think this is getting into traction very much in the next coming years because infotainment, vehicle entertainments, is getting very popular. A lot of operators have started offering these because vehicle to everything is in the demand in the next coming years. A lot of trials, pilots has been done. So this is something we can foresee. Another one is the sports arena, like stadiums, because different games and everything is getting popular in USA. Companies like Verizon, DT. They work together with the stadium operators to offer such kind of entertainment. China Mobile also works together with the content partnership streaming platforms as well. Telefonica, Intel also offering 3D holographic. New calling is something that Huawei is really getting aggressive, working together with China Unicom, China Mobile. New calling, it's a new feature that when you make a call, you see very interactive with all kind of features on the screen of the phone with the 8K HD and all that. Nokia worked together with some European athletics track with the 5G camera as a service. I think this is something anyone wants to interested to get some zoom of some games, everything. Nokia can offer such kind of a new generating revenue stream. So I can go on, like NVIDIA is another thing because
Yeah, yeah.
NVIDIA with GPU cloud or services with Gen I as well. Preparing for future business on the right top also is something that AT&T, Warner Media, Netflix, Disney's entertainment movies. These are getting even good traction as well. So I don't want to take lots of time, but I offer like a 2 days workshop to any of the mobile operators globally who's interested. I'm willing to give free of charge, 2 days free of charge to run through them drastically. How this whole new plans are going on in the industry so that they can know what are the strategies that we can work out. I can offer to any of those mobile network.
Thank you, Kanesh, and that's a very valid point, guys. Everyone who of you watching this show podcast, please reach out to Kanesh. uh, he's giving this for free. Now what else do you want? So thank you. You bring this point, and very interesting point. So what I have seen from this slide, by the way, like, I really like like this overall view. It has Huawei, it has Nokia, it has AWS, all those you can just find in just one slide. And by the way, I'm using the Verizon service, so I can totally rely on some of the bundles what they're providing. So this is absolutely updated one. So uh, what one thing, like a key takeaway what I can get from this is that, so any top tech companies which are now working, for example, if you think about hyperscaler, you'll think about AWS. Okay, it's like, right, the like the name would come into your mind. You talk about AI, you talk about Nvidia. Okay,
Yeah.
you talk about streaming. There is Netflix coming in. So whoever is, it's about now, in this day and age, it's about partnership that can make you last long. Okay, it's about, let's do something and let's do profit sharing. Okay, let's, it's not about, I can just do things on my own. So anybody who wants to do like this would be left all alone in this race. So the key takeaway is that if you want to be a part of the ecosystem, and if you want to really do good business out of all this, it's about, let's come together, talk through, do a table talk. Let's all win. It's not about, I can win only this race. It's about collaboration. It's about building an ecosystem. It's about respecting who is already doing good. So this is something which I want to give the message, to everyone. And people like Kanesh is willing to, offer this, and can give more strategically, what you need to do, how to build that partnership. So you should welcome this. Okay, moving on. I know it's uh, s- like Sunday night, guys. Here, it's and now in the US, it's like a long weekend. So tomorrow is a holiday. So now this is, you can enjoy this show, and please watch it till the end, because we'll be covering some more interesting questions, and we'll be asking Kanesh to give more free content. So I'll try to squeeze something out of from him. So moving on. So now, if you think about from the strategies perspective, okay, what do you think? What strategies are proving most effective for the CSPs to, let's say, upskill existing enterprise customers to high value 5G services, and how they are measuring the return on investment? So, for example, if I'm a CSP, I want to know I want to know exact key parameters, some metrics, and how I would measure my return on investment. Is there anything that I can do strategically to enhance that thing? What do you think on this?
Definitely. Definitely. I think quite a number of mobile operators are taking some of the strategies approach. So one is the tailored value propositions, because this needs some kind of assessment, like conduct through needs assessments to identify specific pain points and opportunities for improvement within the enterprise. Because what happens like 10 years ago might not be relevant today, and what's going to happen today might not be relevant in the next 10 years. So the things that keep on changing, and those kind of customized 5G solutions need to address those needs today. That's number one. Number two is data driven insights, because analyze customer usage patterns is quite important to identify the underutilized services or opportunities for additional features. And also targeted market campaigns, because I think if you see globally, the social media campaigns are taking very aggressive. So I believe the mobile network operators need to leverage with those kind of offers, create personalized offers, promotions based on customer data and preference as well. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how churning the data, consuming to a much more higher consumption of data. Another area is proactive engagement, like establish dedicated customer success teams to proactively engage with enterprise customers and identify what are those upselling opportunities as well. Obviously, mobile network operators has to closely work together, with workshops with all this enterprise, and understand the enterprise problems, situations, how they can work together. Because the future is, network slicing is all about how the enterprise customers just need to open up the laptop, and they can just pick and choose whatever services, data usage, speed, everything for their customers relevant, right? So this is going to how the future is going to look like. So this, the network slicing end to end needs to take into the speed, because it's not still a lot of pilots going on. So I think this is going to be the game changer in the coming years. So I think this is overall,
Mm.
I would
Mm.
say, the strategies.
Okay. Okay, understood clearly. Understood. And thank you for explaining. This is a very, very complex topic, and you have explained it very good. Like, because anybody who is watching this podcast can get this thing. Okay, even if it's not from a 5G background, So that's a good thing. So okay, now if I see, let's say, if I'm in China, okay, I have almost all operators giving 5G. Okay, if I'm in any other big country, developed country, I'll have 5G services, which is have been offered by all the major operators, right? As an as a CSP, how would I uh, make my 5G stand out from the rest? Yes, we can talk about quality of service parameters, coverage, all those things, but in terms of monetization, because if I have to uh, stand out, if I work on my quality of service, my coverage, my, you can do roaming, you can do all things technically, but from the business standpoint, what do you think, how the MNOs can differentiate their 5G enterprise offerings, as in this competitive market? Like, what are the two three things they can do, if you have to explain them, what would you advise them?
Okay, I think most of the countries have their own specific economic value, right? Some countries are very much agriculture driven. Some countries are very much manufacturing driven. But in general, I could able to say that what really took out measuring in terms of, like for example, manufacturing, because manufacturing, to increase the productivity, you need to measure the increase in production output, efficiency, like real-time monitoring, predictive maintenance, and the automation, because the future is all going to be robotic. You can see a lot of organizations are already moving towards robotics, wireless. A lot of factories from brownfield is moving towards to greenfield. That means greenfield means there's no longer wired in the factory premise. It's all wireless, because it's all with connected with 5G wireless, a complete fresh green. So like automotive companies like Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Porsche have already moving towards the wireless factories. Tesla has moving to a wireless. So we can foresee those kind of wireless can actually gives much more. Reduce downtime, caused by the increment failures. It can give some improved quality through the reduced defects and enhance the consistency. That is manufacturing. Number two is healthcare, because we look that to improve the patient outcome, we need to measure the improvements in patient, like reduced mortality, shorter hospital stays, and better adherence to treatment. So one of the areas to avoid more patients to come to the hospital is by offering services right from the home through the IoT as well. So that can calculate the cost savings, reduce the readmissions. Remote patient monitoring is something that we can see. Transportation is another area, because transportation measure the reduce in traffic congestions and travel times, improve safety is another area, right? So how that to improve those road safety, I think 5G can able to play a significant role into improving the fleet management as well. uh, Retail is another area, because retail is something that many of them don't have time to spend time in the shopping complex. How to improve the customer satisfaction. So those kind of new use cases via online can able to make the customers to make quick decisions, quickly purchase, and they just go there and collect their clothings.
Nice.
um,
Yes, I totally agree with you. And if I have to, guys, if I have to summarize all this, what Kanesh has just explained, any MNO do some research on the use cases, what is around you, how, what are the pressing use cases. For example, he talked about robotics, artificial intelligence. This is like no brainer. Okay, if you know how to what areas in your offerings, if you can automate those offerings, you can reduce the cost, like significantly. There are good work going on the healthcare sector, you know uh, there are retail sector, there is transportation, so think about from your country's economy and the challenges and the innovative use cases that everybody is doing on, and try to get yourself attached to those things, and so that in this way you will be able to get a better sense of what service offering that you can offer to help those use cases, thrive. Now, one of the things which also, I wanted to ask you this thing especially, but this is very, what I feel is the MNOs are, I mean, they're doing their work. I mean, they have been investing on 5G, and uh, there are a lot of teams working on try to monetize 5G, but there is also something which the regulators or the academics or the ecosystem can do to help the CSPs monetize 5G. you know it's not only the CSPs, they also would need support from the ecosystem, and some of the partners are can be the vendors, can academics, incubators, regulators, all those, they can also support, to make 5G, like the CSP to monetize 5G. So two questions: one, how the ecosystem can help the CSPs, is there any way, what do you think? And secondly, how the CSPs can take their support. So I'm asking you one question from both the ways. How, if I have to support you, how I can support you, like what are the ways, and if I have to take support, if I have to seek support, if I'm an MNO, how I can reach out to those guys.
All right. This is a fantastic question, Taha. Most recently, there was one professor from a prominent university in Malaysia who actually approached me. Kanesh, I saw you, you were in the Mobile World Congress in Shanghai 2 months ago. I saw you took a lot of good points from what's happening in Shanghai with Huawei and China Unicom with the innovative use cases and all that. But I'm trying to approach to the vendors. I don't want to name who are the vendors, but they are not actually answering me. So then I told him, Professor, why not you actually see how you can work together with the mobile operators? Because I think mobile operator is the main channel, and see how you can leverage with the mobile network operator. Then automatically the telecom vendor who supply to that particular mobile operator can work together, and you can able to come out with the innovation study or pilot cases in your universities, and you work together with this leverage of different players, and the mobile operator can able to promote to the industries of the new research innovations from the universities and the standard bodies from globally internationally like 3GPP or even GSME or even Camara, the APIs, so there's quite a number of new standardization bodies are coming in, and they would see, they will give an opportunity and how to take up this innovation of use cases from the universities and put it into the standardization to the global 5G evolution towards the 6G as well. So I think that creates excitement to the students in the university as well, and they can create a lot of new what they call IR, new innovations. Then will trigger the vendors, because at the end of the day, the vendors are the people or the companies who wants to see the innovations, right? Because I believe, for example, like Huawei Technologies, they have really invested quite number of top-notch international universities. They work together to come out with the specific research of the futuristic innovation of research study, case studies, and this is how they take from those universities, and they submit an applications for the innovation pattern to be obtained by the from the standardization bodies. So I think this is quite critical in terms of how we can work together hand to hand in from the research and development point of view. Building talent developments is one another area. Incubators, startup incubators can provide support to startups developing 5G related products. They have to work together as well. Regulators, policy framework, because regulators is most important from the country point of view, because they need to get speed. They need to work very hard to get the favorable policy environment so that more investors will come in to the country together. Spectrum allocation is another major critical, right? Because this is a major killer for a lot of countries, because not all the countries are willing to give a free of charge for spectrum allocation. China has done that. China has given a free spectrum allocation in quite a number of spectrum to encourage more mobile operators to invest in those, right? A lot of countries are charging very high rates for the spectrum, and that made the mobile operators not to actually want to spend into that. So I think this is another area. Investors like venture capital firms, private equity funds, government agencies have also needs to provide such a huge funding in the 5G projects. I think this will also create the ecosystem partners in overall.
I think very well explained, Ganesh. Very well explained. And I just want to add few points here, guys. One is, so think about, if I'm a government, okay, if I want to fund a CSP, let's say in terms of spectrum allocation, or to come up with some use cases so that they can leverage 5G, like monetize 5G. Sorry. So I want to know exactly some of the problem statement first of all, and as a government, I have to make sure that if I am offering support, that support is being utilized well by the CSPs. How you can do this? The government may not have the complete visibility, or the incubators or the venture capitalists or those guys who want to help the CSPs. Okay, there you have to rely on something like a bridge consultation, or something like a company who can uh, make the CSPs present their use cases better, and also help government or whoever is wants to monetize them, uh, that hey, they are really deserving. So how do you do this? Is if you just rely on the vendors, or like couple of the big names, you may not have the complete visibility, because you like first of all, you'll think that they are just thinking from themselves. They would just want to get the project. That's why they want to just speak on behalf of the CSP. Whereas if you think about like a consulting firm, let's say, and identify people, like for example, who are the most trusted consultants, who are close to the CSPs, as well as they know the whole ecosystem better. So you have to have some sort of like an independent board which can advise you that hey, who can advise both the CSPs as well as the different parties involved, and how to monetize this, and they can come up with some strategic options and some solutions, to bridge this gap, and to help government also to release the funds, and also CSPs to use to come up with some interesting use cases, which can benefit, and this can make sense for the government as well. So this is something which can also help in this. And guys, it's about partnership now. At the end of the day, it's about working together collaboratively. It's not, as what we have come down to is, and what we have seen is, if you want this ecosystem to thrive, you have to listen to everyone. Okay, it's not about only the top tier vendors or the top MNOs, or you have to bring everyone on the table, and you have to make sure that uh, you are hitting all the checks, and you are working as one team. That's the only way that you'll be able to grow. That's actually has brought me to the last segment of my show. It's been very interesting, and I hope that you have been watching this show and enjoying our discussion. So Kanesh, brother, any closing thoughts from you? What do you think? what can be the future trends that we can look out, any like interesting KPIs that we can advise, like to the CSPs, where they can check their ROI, and a way to carefully allocate the funds, and how to leverage 5G.
Uh, Thanks, Taha. But I think that the most important is that the mobile network operators start to think outside of the box. Is no longer a consumer driven as what happened in the 3G and 4G. Yes, consumer driven is important. I didn't say no. The most challenging is how to move towards the enterprise driven, industrial driven, and that's where how we can use the EMBB towards the industry driven, because definitely the URLLC, the ultra reliable low latency communications for autonomous vehicles, industrial automations, remote surgery, smart grids, this is very much towards the URLLC, robotics, and all this, right? So this is definitely is going to be industrial driven. There's a lot of pilot cases, trials needs to be done, and the model business, the right business model innovation needs to be handshaked with these industrial organizations. I think this is what needs to get in speed. MMTC is another very important, because IoT sensors, wearables for smart city, agriculture, healthcare, logistics, very much massive machine type communication, because you can see huge number, billions of IoT sensors coming into place. Please do not forget 5G rate cap, because 5G rate cap is the one is running on the 5G new radio feature. So rate cap is something we can able to see is going to take into pace, and definitely with the growth of 5G standalone, this will cultivate more on the 5G rate cap deployment for the MMDC as well. So fixed wireless access took very well in USA and in India. So, but the other regions countries are still not into that, because it was not never been focused during the 4G time. So I think some of the other countries should look how the FWA should play a better role compared to the fiber rollouts, right? So this is another area. Network slicing is very much to retail driven as well. So each of the different regions, they have to really look into their economic value and see how they can push much more speed in their economic value sectors. Lastly, I just want to make sure, I want to repeat again, the EMBB partnership with the enterprise is very critical. Content partnership is very critical. You see a lot of social media, there's a lot of content, UHD content, streaming platform, gaming services, music libraries is taking into place as well. Device partnerships is very important as well, because device, is there's so many devices, not only mobile phone, there's a lot of other devices coming into place with the innovations. Those partnership needs to be leveraged. Technology partnership is very important. Marketing partnership is even more important, because how to collaborate with brands, different brands, right? Not technology, not limited technology, it can be apparel, any other brands, how these marketing campaigns can be done, and use those VR, AR, metaverse is another thing is coming into speed. How use this with the brand partnerships. I think this will create a lot more. But I want to share more, but I can't share this. I want to share directly towards the mobile network operators. 2 days workshop at your premise. I can give you everything, the strategies, more detail, so that they could be able to understand. I think that will be a much more better value for them to see in the foresight.
Yeah. Ganesh, one thing, very well put up. Just one thing I want to add it here is, no matter what use cases you're coming up with, what solutions you're coming up with, private 5G, network slicing, EMBB, ultra reliable low latency. One thing is a common denominator of all these solutions, which is it should be it should have a better, from the cyber security standpoint, it should be better secured. You know, if you go to any enterprise, or go to any, or come up with any solution, and if it's something which is vulnerable, you end up losing the trust of your customers, which can impact the whole ecosystem. So make sure you are covering the cyber security angle also for each and every of your solutions. Making sure that the KPIs, you have relevant KPIs to check the security and to check the threat vectors as well on your solutions. This is something which the CSP needs to be aware of.
I have to definitely have to support Taha, because today I saw this survey results that a lot of organizations, enterprises, and mobile network operators, CEOs have failed to look into the data privacy, data integrity, and security end to end. They have failed to see. I think this is really critical, because if not, there's a lot of leakages will be happening. And to the audience, please definitely check out with the Xecurity Pulse to get much more valuable insights from the team as well. I think this is quite critical, important as well.
Thank you, Kanesh, and with this, I want to give a small teaser to our audience. You know, we at Security Pulse will be coming up with a 5G security boot camp. Okay, this has never been done before. With a with the content of what we are bringing in, because this you have made an interesting point, so I couldn't help myself just to announce this, is that we'll be coming up with a 5G security boot camp, which will be which have all the use cases what we have just talked about: private 5G network slicing, AMBB use case, ultra reliable low latency. With all of this, how you can stay secure, how you can build a secure architecture. So that's something which to look for. Secondly, I want to thank you, Kanesh, for coming into this show. Uh, I'm really glad that we have touched very interesting use cases, very pressing problems, and you also have announced 2 days free workshop. You know, for the CSPs. This is also has never been done before. In this, and I'm glad. I'll be so my platform is has become that you know that announcement point for you. Uh, Guys, please keep following us, keep watching our podcast show. We'll be bringing such useful content. And Ganesh, I want to thank you again, brother. Thank you for coming into the show. It's been a pleasure to have you. I'm sure a lot of people have found this insightful. Guys, please leave me your comments. What do you think about it? Anything which we have missed? If you want to like cover, I would like to have Ganesh with me one more time again. We'll check his availability. I'm sure he's like a very busy person now. He'll be going with this 2 days workshop, so also it will be hard to catch him. So yeah, I mean, thank you very much, Ganesh. It's been an honor to have you.
Thank you, Taha, and I really I'm so grateful to you, Taha. I think we made it today, and I have actually published in our social media's global 5G evolution, and we want to push hard at Security Plus as well. Please feel free to share your contents, and we will definitely for free will share in our social media platform to get a greater insights. I think partnership is very important, collaboration is important. I think we can work very much closely in the future. Thank you, Taha. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay, guys, I'm Taha Sajid, and this is Security Pulse. We are signing out. I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy your long weekend.